Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the blueprint of a truly highly structured life. We're looking at the guiding principles of Odell L. Brown. Now, Odell is a professional who holds some seriously heavy-hitting credentials. We're talking a certified internal auditor, a certified public accountant, and a professional in human resources. You know, you might expect a CPA to organize their life strictly by the numbers, but what we're looking at today goes way beyond a spreadsheet or a resume. We are looking at the core framework he uses to structure his entire approach to life, leadership, and personal growth.
But first, I want you to take a quick second and think about your own internal compass. Seriously, when you're faced with a really complex decision, or when the path ahead just isn't clear, what actually guides you? Do you have a documented set of principles you fall back on? Let's be honest, most of us just kind of wing it, right? We just hope our gut points us in the right direction. But as you're going to see, Odell uses a highly structured, almost architectural approach to his personal and professional development. He literally leaves nothing to guesswork.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, defining the core mission, or simply, who am I?
When Odell answers that massive, ultimate question, who am I? He doesn't start off by saying, hey, I'm a CPA. He starts with his foundational identity traits. First and foremost, he defines himself as a child of God. Then, he defines his posture towards the world, an intentional learner who values growth. And finally, he defines his relationship to others. He loves to mentor and endeavors to make a positive difference. He strips away all those shiny professional titles to get down to the absolute bedrock of his character.
And that foundational identity feeds directly into his personal mission statement. What's so fascinating here is how perfectly this crystallizes his core values into a single actionable sentence. Listen to this. To be the best that God would have me to be, living with integrity and compassion, and making a positive difference in the lives of others. This isn't just some nice phrase to put on a wall. It's a daily filter. Every single choice, every career move, and every interaction gets held up against this statement to see if it actually aligns.
Moving right along to Section 2, purpose, passion, and talent, the why, what, and how.
So how do you take a lofty mission like that and operationalize it into a daily framework? Well, Odell uses a highly effective three-tiered method. Think of it like a golden circle approach. It starts with my why, his purpose or mission, the absolute driving force behind his existence. Next is my what, his passion, those specific areas that just ignite his energy. And finally, my how, his gift or talent, which he defines as the specific tools he is uniquely equipped with to do the job. It is a 100% complete alignment of motivation, energy, and execution.
Which brings us to Section 3, the guiding mantra, daily operational guidelines.
This right here is his daily mantra: responsive, resourceful, and relevant. Just 3 simple words, but wow, they pack a tremendous punch. Being responsive means he's engaged and timely. You know, he doesn't leave people waiting. Being resourceful means he figures it out. He finds solutions, leveraging those sharp skills as an auditor and CPA to knock down obstacles. And being relevant ensures he is always adding actual, meaningful value to whatever situation he's in. If he's hitting all 3 of these metrics, he is operating at absolute peak performance.
But here's the thing. That mantra doesn't just exist in a corporate vacuum. It is deeply rooted in his faith, specifically tied to 2 foundational scriptures. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds him, "For I know the plans I have for you," which reinforces the whole idea of divine planning and purpose. And then Romans 12:6 states, "We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us." This is a huge acknowledgement that his specific capabilities are actually grace-given tools meant to be used for a much higher purpose. Let's look at how he uses those tools in Section 4. Putting gifts into practice, the tools for execution. So what exactly are those unique tools? Odell identifies his top 3 spiritual gifts as shepherding, mercy showing, and teaching. And I want you to look at how perfectly these align with the identity we talked about earlier. Think about it. To mentor and make a real difference, you need to guide people. Well, that's shepherding. You need to lead with compassion. That's mercy showing. And you need to impart knowledge. That's teaching. It's like a giant puzzle, and all the pieces fit perfectly.
Watch how this all connects. Remember earlier when Odell identified as an intentional learner? Here, we see that his continuous intake of knowledge directly fuels his spiritual gift of teaching. He learns intentionally, specifically so that he can teach effectively. The inputs perfectly match the desired outputs. It's just a brilliant, continuous cycle of personal growth leading directly to community impact.
And finally, Section 5, a vision for legacy, looking to the future.
Now we get to see how all those daily principles build up toward a long-term impact. Odell has established a true North Star for his life, which is leaving a legacy behind, inspiring others to live with faith, integrity, and purpose. This is the ultimate destination, guys. It highlights that his end goal isn't personal wealth or scoring professional status points. It's about leaving behind a blueprint for others to follow. Everything he does is meant to point others toward living with that exact same faith, integrity, and purpose.
This whole journey culminates right here, in his vision statement. My vision is to live out my purpose through intentional mentoring, meaningful service, and lasting relationships, continuing to invest in others so my impact is reflected in the lives I help shape. I mean, that beautifully wraps up the entire framework. He is literally defining his success by the positive impact he leaves on the people around him.
Which brings us right back to you. Odell Brown has just given us an absolute masterclass in how to structure a purposeful life. He knows his why, what, and how. He knows his mantra, his gifts, and his North Star. By clearly defining every single one of these elements, he basically ensures that his daily actions inevitably lead to his desired legacy. So as we wrap up this explainer, I have a challenge for you. Use this framework for yourself. Take out a piece of paper, ask yourself, who am I at a foundational level, and start charting your own course. Ask yourself right now, what will your legacy be?